which is 9 and 10, Chair, as you recall, further to the amendment of PFM 2012 to bring in section 191A to 191E of public finance management. We were given, the last 2 financial years were exempted. We have noticed that the agreements, the intergovernmental agreements, are not ready, and we will be seeking an extension to include 2023-24 to allow for preparation of these intergovernmental agreements. Insert section 10 on PFM 2012, the conditional grants for financial year 2024 shall be dispersed in accordance with the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. Chair, this one means that if the exemption is granted, then we should just disperse as previously dispersed under the PFM Act without the intergovernmental agreements. The National Treasury, the rationale is that the National Treasury, in conjunction with the Budget Committee of Intergovernmental Budget, IBEC held a meeting on 12 July 2023 and noted that certain operational challenges likely to be faced as a result of the consequential amendments of 2012, as I have said before, due to the County Government's Additional Allocation Act 2022 that brought some these amendments. Section 191A, 191A4 versus 191B. Section 191A requires that whereas a county government intends to enter an agreement with the National Treasury, the County Executives Committee shall submit the agreement to the respective county assembly for approval. Section 191B, on the other hand, requires that the County Executive Committee members shall facilitate public participation on any agreement made pursuant to Section 191. Section 191.4 requires the County Assembly to approve or reject the agreements, but has not addressed whether the County Assembly can amend the bill. As such, there would be difficulty in achieving meaningful and quantitative public participation on agreements that have already been approved by the County Assembly. Section 191A5 of PFM 2012 stipulates that a County Assembly fails to consider an agreement under subsection 3 within 14 days, the agreement shall be deemed to be approved. This does not therefore address possibility of reintroduction of the intergovernmental agreements and procedure on the time. Section 191A7 of the PFM requires the county government to submit the intergovernmental agreements to the control of budget within 7 days of approval. Section 191D1 of the Act requires the National Treasury to submit to the Senate and control of budget intergovernmental agreements entered into with any other documents relating to the agreement. Therefore, the consequential amendments to 2012 due to County Government Additional Allocation Act 2022 are silent, but are silent about likely disparities between agreements submitted by the county government and submitted by the National Treasury. Now, to remedy this. From the above, Chair, the National Treasury therefore proposes the inclusion of a transitional clause in the County Government Additional Allocation Bill 2023, which is before you, into the current financial year 2023-24. From the requirements of the intergovernmental agreements under Section 191 of PFM 2012. The next paragraph indicates that we have the National Treasury has established a task force, a multi-agency task force, to start preparing these intergovernmental agreements. Inclusion of the transitional clause in County Government Additional Allocation Bill 2023 to exempt 2024 financial year from the requirements of the intergovernmental agreements will allow the interagency task force, which I've mentioned above, to work on the templates for intergovernmental agreements. And this should be ready, Chair, by the next financial year, if that is simpler. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think this, the main critical issues here is, first of all, the FROCA that we have explained. And this is going to be significant because during the climate summit, we want also to showcase the FROCA as how we can actually deal with climate change at the local level, at the devolved level. And for us, this is very, very important, and that's why we want to bring that. The second thing is that most of the amendments that we have made is actually to streamline the regulations. But finally, the last request is actually because we feel that the intergovernments are not yet ready with the agreements that are required, and even the processes that they may take. That's why we are just exempting them for this year, for 2023-2024, so that they can be ready, and the task force will be ready with the agreements and also the requirements.
Thank you, Sana Waziri. It's quite a very good detailed submission, which we appreciate. I would first want to allow Senator himself on record.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. CS, my name is Richard Onyonka, and I'm a member of this committee. As my teacher, I want to apologize for coming to class late.
Is the apology accepted?
Apology accepted. I will deduct a few marks.
Yes, we should. Thank you. Anyway.
Thank you. I think the father was my teacher, so now I became the teacher to the son. So it's a good relationship. Thank you very much.
Very true. Waziri, I would first want to put my comments, and I have 3 comments. One, starting from the point of the court fines that you've mentioned in terms of ensuring that remitted to the counties, but I would want to understand from which financial year are you looking at? To what is the start point? That is one. Secondly, is on the issue of the minerals. On the issue of the minerals, you've clearly stated on Part C, where you've talked about the allocation on column C, rather. And Article 83 5 does stipulate on the allocations whereby the national government receiving 70%, the county government 20%, and the communities 10%. So where is the 10%? Where do you leave the 10% for the communities? In your schedule, we are not seeing any comment of the 10% for the communities. And thirdly is on the 425 for the 33 libraries. Part of the delay that we had a bit in the morning is because IGRTC had requested to appear this before, and they were really concerned on the 425 million of the country transfer services for the library, putting in mind we have staff, we have expenses that are in these 33 libraries. So what is the status of the 425 million for the libraries as far as this county additional allocation is concerned? I'll allow members to one more so that they can respond to that, and then we go to the other senators. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My concern is with regard to the royalties, payment of those royalties to the counties. I'll give you an example. Base Titanium came to Kenya. They did their mining. They are now closing down. They have already concluded the operation. But the funds that were saved, or the levies that were collected for the communities, have never been disbursed. I don't know why the delay has been so much that they are no longer, the benefits are no longer likely to reach the people. Thank you.
Prof,
thank you, sir.
Would you like to take the 3 questions and then you respond, or?
I give you time first. I have one additional concern.
We are under the direction of the chair. Maybe,
If it's one, maybe you can proceed.
Yes, just one comment and a question. The question is, when the library services were transferred, it's only 33 counties that received staff. So I would like you to clarify the library services. I would like you to clarify, Professor, what you are planning for the other 33 counties. For the other 14, the 14 that did not receive, because we want the children and the general public there also to enjoy library services. My last one is a comment. The issue raised by my colleague here about mining. Are you conscious that mining of gold is ongoing 24/7 in Kakamega and parts of Vihiga? And if you are on top of things, are we looking forward to us getting our 10%?